Hello and a big welcome to DXC Arena here in Darwin for this TIO Strike League match between the City Cyclones and the Desert Blaze, with the news that the Desert Blaze won the toss and they decided to bowl. Before I introduce my guest expert, I'd like to acknowledge the Larrakia people, the traditional owners of the land we're on, and pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. And I'd also like to extend that respect to any Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people watching this broadcast. First ball is underway as I welcome Shannon Byrne. Hello, Shan.
And they scramble through for a single. Lights on here at DXC Arena. Not sure I'm going to be the expert of experts, but yes, I've seen enough cricket in my time, and it is exciting to see this opening match here of the TIO Strike League. Down to 4 teams. We were hoping to have 2 Melbourne Big Bash League teams, and the Melbourne Stars and the Melbourne Renegades, but the new world we live in at the moment, I'm hoping they can join us a little later in the competition.
So it's Keegan Oates to get that single. That brings the captain Jack Edwards on strike. And he'll face Hayden Kerr. Left arm over the wicket. Runs in and bowls. Ball just on, was Shorty's ball, and he just worked it down to third man. He can run through for another single, so ball, run off each ball, Shan.
Jack Edwards, when you think of who's out there in the middle, a lot of people know him opening for New South Wales and also the Big Bash League with the Sydney Sixers. So they've got some strike power out there in the middle for the City Cyclones. He has been around as well, playing in the Australian 11 that took on the NT strike team a little earlier this month.
So here's Keegan again, and again he works it away just backward a point, and he can run through for a couple, I reckon. Fielding out there, whips the return in. They got through for 2 though, so a good energetic start here from the team batting.
And that's what you'll be wanting to. I mean, with the Blaze electing to bowl, lights on here in Darwin, but the sun is just starting to set. There's going to be a lot of changing light here for the batsmen out in the middle, and we'll get on to the Duke's ball that they're using in just a moment. So there's a lot of speed.
Here comes Kerr again past the umpire, bowls on the leg side, turns it around the corner, darts away for a single backward of square leg. And so Kerr doing pretty well.
We were talking earlier with the umpires when we had a look at the ground. There's a little bit of grass on the pitch at the moment, so we were also just speaking to them just about what the bowlers think when they get the Duke's ball. So we don't use it up here in Darwin in our district cricket grade, but we're using the Duke's ball here. It's going to stay a lot harder throughout both innings, and it goes a lot faster.
See if Kerr can do a little better with this one. Straight drive down the ground, but good fielding down there, no run. First dot ball of the innings. Want plenty of those if you want to win this match. T20, first of the T20s in this TIO Strike League series. We're looking to some terrific matches coming up. So Edwards on 1, Oates on 4. No wicket for 5.
You might hear a lot of wind in our mics as well, because we are sitting down at the airport development ground end. Airport's just behind us, but there is a strong breeze at the back of Kerr at the moment.
Edwards facing Kerr. Ball slashes at this one, and he got to get an edge. I think he might have. No, he didn't. He didn't get an edge. That was a good ball. Got past him, slashed at it. Didn't get any contact at all. End of the first over. No wicket for 5.
I'm just saying how quick it can go. So that was beating him convincingly.
It was the best ball of the over.
Yeah,
the dot
absolutely.
ball, and then that one.
Whizzed through, beat him, but just not able to get a nick off the bat. But yeah, we were just saying, we spoke with both of the umpires out in the middle. Mark Malmberg, who's from Victoria, when he left to come up here about a week ago, it was 13 degrees. So we welcome him to a very, very warm afternoon in Darwin. It's over 30 degrees. And he was just telling us that it's actually his first time it will be umpiring under lights as well. You know, he's not too sure what to expect, obviously the changing light, and he'll have a chat to us after how it really did, I guess, change the way that he umpired as well. And the other umpire, Brendan Muldoon, was giving us a great insight into, depending on who bowls, is to where he actually stands. Sometimes he stands a couple of feet back because, you know, the ball's coming in a lot quicker with the Duke now, but at the other end, if we've got a big hitter, you know, he's just saying even for his own reflexes, he likes to stand back a little more. the way that these guys can hit it out in the middle.
So Hamish Martin to bowl from this airport end, the International Darwin Airport, for those who've been to the top end and to Darwin. This is the end where the airport is. So he's a spinner, a left-arm spinner, and he's hammered this away. That's a good shot. Got it right over the outfield, out towards the boundary. Will it go the distance? Yes, it does. 4 runs. So he just latched onto that and belted it away for a boundary.
Good work there from Keegan Oates. Not only saw the gap, but he's taken on the spinner straight away with the first ball. So you give that little advantage to the batsman there.
So here he comes again, bowls. And this one's belted away again. This has gone almost out the same direction. Not lofted though. Fielder out on the boundary can get to it. They're going to run through for 2 runs. So Oates goes up to 8. Edwards on 1. No wicket for 11. He's on 10 actually, Oates.
Seeing it well at the moment, isn't he, Oates?
He is. And Edwards might try and emulate the performance of Joe Root in the Test match against India. Hit 180 century in the last game. This one's hit up in the air, diving effort out and covers, and the catch is taken. And that's what happens when you swing the bat too early. He might have been set in as a bit of a pinch hitter, so he's on his way. Keegan Oates out for 10.
And a comfortable catch diving forward. You won't see much better than that. Straight down the throat of Burden. Just when we were saying that Oates had his eye in and he was looking pretty good swinging out there. A bit of a mishit, and Hugo Burden comes up with the catch, and Oates has gone back to the pavilion and he's out for 10.
So the score, let's have a look at the replay. Here it is. It's spun away. He didn't play that shot well at all, and he's hit it up into the covers, and good diving catch forward there. Had to anticipate where it was going to drop, and he got to it and wrapped these mitts around it and sent Oates on his way. He gave him a fairly reasonable start. 10 runs, not too bad.
Yeah, he'll be happy with that, but not happy that he wasn't able to go on with it. He was the one that Edwards was giving the strike, rightly so. But, you know, Martin went for a couple of runs, first off 2 balls, and then coming up with a wicket. So that's a great, you know, we sort of said Oates took him for 4 off the first ball, and then 2 balls later he's claimed his wicket.
So Nick Larkin, the new batsman, he was named like to open with Edwards, so whether they sent the pinch hitter in, I don't know, and he just dabs this away past the vacant slip. Run through for a single. Yes, there's a player standing in front of me, pretty sure they ran through for a single, so Edwards 1, Larkin 1. So wicket for this man, Hamish Martin, left armour. Tosses this up, works it away off his toes, out towards mid-wicket. No run there though, good fielding.
Good recovery there from Brasher, wasn't it? A little bit of a misfield, but they're so quick to their feet now out in the field. There was no way that there was a run in that.
That's a beautiful surface out there. I tell you, we went for a walk. It was just amazing. And this one lofted it away. That's a good shot. Bangs it out towards the boundary and rolls away for a 4. That's a good shot. Hit right in the middle of the bat. You could hear the sound of it. Shan, wasn't it? Just a perfect shot. 4 runs. Straight
down to long on your right. Just lofted it. Good footwork from Nick Larkin. So 2 really big names that a lot of people, not only in Australia but across the globe, would know. Nick Larkin and also Jack White out there. Jack Edwards. Nick Larkin plays for the BBL with the Melbourne Stars. Has only today come out of quarantine to be a part of this as well. So he's done his mandatory quarantining. The product of New South Wales North Coastal Zone.
So 1 for 16, Edwards on 5, and on strike, Larkin on 1. It's just one a shortish ball and got away from him, Larkin. He sort of half-heartedly played at it, didn't he?
Yeah, he was just trying to
look for the dab, maybe.
Yeah, get a little bit of a cut there, but again, beaten by Kurt.
So in the 3rd over here, 1 for 16. That's a bright start, 8 runs and over. Here comes Kerr again, left arm over the wicket. That's a good ball. Pitched in line with the stumps, was a little short and then just moved away off the seam. And the umpires were telling us that earlier on the ball can move around quite a bit, can't it, in the first few overs. And he said a strange thing, that the ball gets harder.
Yeah, and that's the difference between the Duke ball and the Kookaburra. And they were saying that the Kookaburra gets a lot softer throughout the innings, a lot of the white paint, and a lot can come off the ball. Whereas you're right, this stays hard and this is quick in the first couple of overs.
Hayden Kerr outside the off stump through the wicket keeper.
That's 3 swings and a miss in a row there for Nick Larkin.
Hartsoglu, the wicket keeper.
He'll be joining us in commentary throughout this series as well. Hope you're enjoying the opening match under lights. Local time here is just 6:10. It's a beautiful sunset.
So Hayden Kerr again comes in past the umpire, bowls, and this one he gets away out towards point. Thought about a single and wisely decided against it. A little bit of a fumble out there, probably could have scampered through.
I think Jack Edwards was keen for it. He was already halfway down the pitch, but Nick Larkin stopped him. So the current run rate is 6, but it's that wicket already lost in the second over that they'll be worried about.
Wonder how many overs they'll give Kerr. He's in his second over. No run there. Sun just starting to get towards the horizon, isn't it? You can just, this is that funny light, I reckon. Now the lights are on and it starts to take effect. Probably in the next couple of overs, maybe 2 or 3 overs. It'll make it even more difficult. So the wicket to fall was that of Oates, out for 10. Caught Burden bowled Martin. And he works this out towards, oh, that's a great shot. That raced away. I was looking out towards the forward point and it's raced away to the boundary and it got there in a rush. That was a great shot.
He'd been really working up to that shot for the first couple. He just had a couple of swing and a miss, and he looked like he was trying to guide that through the slips, and he was able to do so there. And just the pace off Kerr's bowling, they're having a bit of a chuckle out of the middle. And you can just see on their shirts as well, that is Jack Edwards' shirt, just flowing in the wind there. Very, very strong breeze, and Kerr in his first 2 overs has had the breeze at his back. And we're sitting down at the airport development end. Sitting into the breeze as well, where they've got a change of bowlers from the airport development end.
Well, Martin did his job. He came in and got a wicket.
Yeah. Now they're going to bring on Chris Tremaine.
Chris Tremaine. So he's a big name, isn't he? He's well known cricketer, good bowler. He's very lively pace.
Sydney Thunder. Probably used to wearing the opposition colours. Got him in the Melbourne Renegade colours today.
He's a big, tall, fast bowler. And he's a right armour. And this one's treated with no respect at all, hit out over square leg. They go through for a single.
Got a fielder out there on the boundary, so only able to make it through for 1. Yeah, Chris Tremaine, New South Wales and Sydney Thunder. As you mentioned, very tall, fast bowler. Played 4 ODIs for Australia. He's been up in Darwin for a couple of weeks now.
That's his loosen up balls, yeah.
Yeah, and on his right to him is the Darwin Golf Club, and I understand he doesn't mind playing some golf up here when he's got time off.
That's a good ball from him. It's worked away down towards third man, dart through for a single. So Larkin and Edwards both on 6. 1 for 22 are in the 4th over. Cricket coming to you from the DXC Arena here in Darwin. Beautiful afternoon for cricket. Day-night match, part of the Strike League. Some good visiting players come from interstate to be here for it. We'll give you some news on what the whole Melbourne deal was too, for those wondering where the Melbourne teams were. His right arm over the wicket, And he got that away off the gloves, I reckon, down towards fine leg. No one down there that might go all the way. It rolls to the boundary, and it does over the ropes. And it's 4 runs. So it did come off the gloves. There was no fine leg down there, and he picked up 4 runs. So
Tremaine, yeah, just won't be happy with that line and length that he's got there.
Not at all.
We were saying Kerr was the lucky one to be bowling with the breeze at his back. Tremaine's actually storming into a very strong breeze.
I don't like to predict anything, but maybe he'd be thinking about a well-pitched up Yorker round about now. Oh, that's fantastic ball. What a great ball that was.
What a recovery.
Just swung away, played for the big off drive, got the edge, wicketkeeper took the catch, and the captain's on his way. Edwards out for 10. Larkin is 6. That was a great delivery from Chris Tremaine, wasn't he?
Oh, he
set
gave
that
it
up,
everything
didn't he?
too, Charlie. If you have a look at the replay, he gave it everything because he actually fell over once he delivered the ball. He gave it everything after that, wilder delivery earlier, but a comfortable catch behind the wickets as well. And so Hatzagoglu comfortably going to his right. Jack Edwards trudging off the field, head down. He'll be disappointed that he wasn't able as well to add too much more to that total. So City 2 for 26, Charlie.
So bad luck for Jack Edwards. He's on his way, so Kellaway comes in to bat.
Kellaway's an all-rounder spinner. Played for the Cricket Australia 11 in the Chamber NT Top End Series that was played up here. Great series between the NT Strike. He too also quarantined to get up here to play cricket over these last couple of weeks. It's probably coming in a little earlier than would expected in the 4th over.
So it's interesting that the batting lineup we gave had Edwards, Larkin, Kellaway, Hunter, Oates, but they went with Edwards and Oates, so they sent Oates in, and he did the job. Then I mean, he got 10 runs. You'd like more, obviously, but he did get them off to a reasonable start. So Kellaway on strike to face Tremaine. He's the danger man. This the big fast bowler.
Well, both opening batsmen going for 10. I'll be definitely disappointed with that.
So here's Tremaine. Ball on leg stump, just dabbed away, played comfortably and confidently. Good feel for it. No run, 2 for 26. Larkin 6, Kellaway yet to score. Wicket to Tremaine, wicket to Martin.
Kellaway left-hander as well.
Quite a run up, Tremaine. Yes, Tremaine. Outside the off stump and hit away through the covers out towards the boundary. It's going to go all the way. That's incredible. The ball doesn't seem to go that quick, and then all of a sudden it just picks up pace and straight over the rope for 4 runs. Nice shot.
Fast outfield, but also all of the fielders are up inside the circle with the power play now in play. So you just get it through the gap there and it will race away.
So who do they go with to bowl at that other end? Staying with Kerr, I don't think. No, they're bringing on a spinner. Is that...
Tom Andrews is going to be brought into the attack. He's the captain of the Desert Blaze.
They won the toss and decided to bat, and they've got a couple of wickets, 2 for 30, 4 overs.
They actually decided to bowl, which you probably would in this light as well, Charlie, and the breeze. Probably won't stick around for too much longer.
So Andrews,
off spinner.
field, so they've moved the field around a bit, opened it up a little bit.
He's currently contracted with Cricket Tasmania.
He's a lefty too, Shan. bowling around the wicket. This is on the stumps, worked away out through the covers for a single. Fielding out there was Roccaccioli, Corey Roccaccioli.
Nice crowd in as well. Sunday afternoon in Darwin.
Tossed well up. Not much Kellaway could do with that except jam down on it. Was tossed up and dropping a little, caught him a little bit by surprise. Here's the next one, and he works this away, square cuts it out towards the boundary, through for a single only.
You have a look where we're in the 5th over. Current run rate 7.11. It's the 2 wickets that are in the sheds that they'll be pretty nervous about, City.
So Larkin on strike here, just dabs that away. Get through for a single. They think about 2. They're going to, no, they thought about it, decided against it, and with that throw, wise decision. 2 for 32. Larkin 7, Kellaway, Larkin 8 rather, Kellaway 5.
Hear the applause. There's a lot coming from all of the teammates around here. They're pretty happy, Desert Blaze, at the moment.
So Tommy Andrews comes in, left arm around the wicket, tosses it up, drive back down the wicket. Good shot by Kellaway, but with the hands of Andrews, who was able to knock it to ground as his own feels his own bowling. 1 ball left in this over. Tosses it up, works this around the corner, takes a single. Fielding's good and the throws are good. It's, I mean, I haven't seen the cricket here for some time, but I did last year. But the throwing has just improved. They can rip the return in over the top of the bails, can't they? What we've seen so far in this match.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, just in terms of fielding, I think you've seen probably over the last couple of years, you know, the likes of Jordan Silk, who has actually played in this competition in the earlier years. This is the 4th year of competition that we've had the TIO Strike League, and there's a lot of players now that have had to, you know, not only just be a good batter or a bowler, but you have to be very sharp in the field these days.
Edwards
especially
out.
with the big bash league, isn't it? The shorter the format, the bigger the hits.
So who are we going with here to bowl? Change of bowler. Indeed it is. Looks like it's going to be Roccaccioli, is it?
Yep.
So that was interesting. Tremaine given 1 over.
Martin's given 1 by this end. So this will be the 3rd bowler coming into the airport development ground end. And just on cue as well for him, the wind stopped, Charlie.
It has.
So the breeze has stopped here.
So the umpires look fantastic in that sky blue.
Yeah.
Stands out, doesn't it? They might have stopped the wind. They have all the power here. So Roccaccioli comes in and bowl right arm, tosses it up, feels his own bowling. Kellaway on strike. He's on 6, Larkin on 8. The wickets to fall. Edwards out. Caught Hatzoglu for 10 of Tremaine, and Keegan Oates, who sent an earlier out for 10, caught off the bowling of Martin. This one worked down to mid-on for a single. Now, Shannon, I'm looking over in that back corner there where the nets are, and I remember you spending some time there with a famous cricketer once.
Very long time ago. And I got a greater appreciation, not only for bowlers, but yes, Shelley Nitschke.
She knew her stuff, didn't she? Went on to really great stuff for Australia over the years.
Still involved now with coaching in the Australian team. It started out with her cricket in Darwin. Then went down to South Australia, and the rest is history. She had a huge career as a player, and now even better to see her in the makeup of the Australian.
So Roccaccioli bowls this one, and again he can't get it away.
Australian women's team, also involved in the women's Big Bash. And you mentioned earlier about the blue on the umpires. You know, it's so good to see these colours in the T20s and also the 50 over format.
This pitched outside the off stump, and he reached for it and belted it, and then they scampered through for a quick single.
I think he's hurt his wrist with that effort there in the field. That was Tremaine just diving to his left, saved a certain boundary. He's got up holding his left wrist as well. So keep an eye out as he goes out to the boundary.
Cholly again comes in and bowls right arm over the wicket in line with the off stump, and he belts it down to mid on, and they go through for a single. Ball in on the first bounce right over the top of the bails. Certainly making sure there was not two in that knot that there ever was. Just the single. 2 for 37. Larkin 9, Kellaway 8.
Well, good news, he hasn't really hurt his wrist. He was just adjusting his watch as he'd dived to his left.
Full toss, worked off his pads around the corner, out to mid-wicket and off for a quick single. So singles only coming from Rockacholli. Difficult man to get away. Good over from him. 4 runs off the over. 2 for 38.
You always think, does he have to wear it? Is it a GPS? Is he trying to track his steps? What's he doing with a watch on, you know? Is it just something that they're used to? When you look at sort of other, there he's on the screen there with his watch. It looked like he'd got up holding it, but I think he'd put his watch into the ground and maybe just hurt his wrist. But, you know, you look at some of the tennis players and the jewellery around their neck and you think,
yes,
why do you need to wear jewellery when you're playing a sport?
Wouldn't make them feel good. So can we change a bowler? Now Jackson Isaka is coming on.
He's coming on from the TIO Stadium men's, so from behind Isaka. The NTFL played behind there, and AFL when they're able to be played. Haven't seen a game here yet, but the DXC Arena. Must say with new lights in as well, so it's not often we get to have a 6 o'clock start in this TIO Strike League competition. It's the first time that has happened, and we must say the first time that one of the umpires out there has ever umpired. Mark Malberg from Victoria. And I think we should say hello to some of his Victorian umpiring friends. They've tuned in.
So here's Jackson Isaka. Ball short outside the off stump, dabbed away for a single. Will they take 2? Thought about it, no. Ball into the keeper.
And Isaka just ran past Mark as well, so he's down there for his first ever match under lights. He's umpired as well some WBBL matches and got to umpire some of the warm-up matches just before the historic Women's World Cup that was held in Australia recently.
Isaka to Kellaway. Outside the off stump, and hit over the top of it. Didn't get the full face of the bat on it, and they went through for another single. So 2 for 40. Larkin 11, Kellaway 9.
Really important for this batting partnership to build as well. After both opening batsmen went for 10 apiece, Jack Edwards and also Keegan Oates.
So 2 for 40, that's not bad. We're in the 7th over. So the run rate's 6.3. Took this off middle stump, turned around the corner to square leg for a single.
And he's already top scored as well, Nick Larkin, for his side, so they'll be looking for the experience.
Now Kellaway's on
New
strike.
South Welshman.
Now Sham, when I was playing cricket, not that I played it at this level, but I used to get nervous when I got to 9. Nervous at the double figures.
And then after that, what was it from then?
Got out normally in the 9s. The nervous 9s I had. Here's Isaka to Kellaway. Is he nervous with the 9s? No, he's not. He belts that away out towards the boundary for a couple. 2 good runs.
Well, good news, he's off that nervous 9 for you, Charlie.
So he's 11 now, and Larkin's on 12. 2 for 43. 7th over in Darwin, if you've just joined us, at the DXC Arena for the Strike League match between the City Cyclones and the Desert Blaze. Desert Blaze winning the toss, deciding to bowl. They'll be feeling okay with the decision so far. It's one of those games that delicately poised in the 7th over. T20 match. He waited on that. It was a slower ball, I reckon. He waited on it and then he hit it out to deep mid-on, and they went through.
Now, it's the first of 19 matches that we have scheduled in, but we were hoping to have it extended with the Melbourne Renegades and the Melbourne Stars. Were locked into play, but obviously the new world we live in at the moment, pending the Melbourne lockdown, we'll have to keep an eye on what happens there with the new lockdown restrictions until Thursday, the 19th of August.
So that they could be here, can't they, for the rest of this?
They could be here in a week if that restriction lifts, but we're not.
Sucker to Kellaway. Slice this away out toward deep point. Not a great return, but through for just a single.
But yeah, those restrictions, we are having to take it day by day. But you know, you've always got to have hope in this world where things have changed dramatically. And some of these players have quarantined a few weeks earlier and have been part of this whole new series of cricket being played up here in Darwin. It's a Cricket 365 program. We've seen Tim Payne, the Australian Test captain, up here as well. He was part of the Australia 11 series team that took on the NT Strike 11.
Now I think they've gone back to Hamish Martin. He's come back on. So Kellaway on strike on 14. He's the top scorer at the moment. He waits on this one and gives it a big belt. It's high in the air. They're getting underneath it. Oh, dropped the catch in front of us. Parked right underneath it and couldn't pull it in the end. Rockacholli. And he dropped it, and the life to Kellaway.
Well, that was high and it was in the air for quite some time.
Let's have a look at it on replay. Here it is. So he's helped himself to it. You feel he didn't get the full face of the bat on it. So just moving the side screen in front of us.
I don't want to say too much because he's literally 4 metres away from us. But yeah, he's just going through the motion, shaking his head, just putting his hands, and just was probably 30 centimetres to his right that it was dropping.
But you're right, I mean, it was high in the air, had a lot of time to think about it, didn't it? But sometimes it can cause you to drop it. This one belted away by Larkin, out square, out towards the boundary. It's a good looking shot. Will it go all the way? No, just fielded out there, and return comes back in. Big arm. We could keep a fell over backwards trying to get back to it. Kellaway 15, Larkin 14, 2 for 49. This Martin has 1 for 14 to his name. Should have had 2 really. Runs in and bowls, tosses this one up. Single in it. There's always a single there, isn't there?
That was quick. He was quick off the boundary there.
If you drop the mid on and the mid off back, there's always a single there, isn't there?
Yeah, Brasher flew in though, and Boccacelli there just talking to someone off the field saying that he might have run in too hard. So he got there
too early.
As you mentioned, it was hanging in the air, but being able to judge those, he hit it too hard.
He's bowled 3 balls, Martin. He does have a wicket. He got the wicket of Oates, out for 10. Now that's up in the air, and they're parked underneath it. This will be a much easier catch, and no problem at all. And the catch taken out there by, was it Andrews?
Yep, their captain Tom Andrews. That was a much easier one. He had a lot of time to sit under that, and a very dejected Campbell Kellaway walks off the field. He made 15 off 14 balls.
And Martin gets a second wicket. The last time these two teams met, the Desert Blaze won, and it was in the 50-over series. They won by net run rate after losing only one game to second place Southern Storm.
So that was the last time the series was on, but you kind of have to have a look at the makeup of the teams, don't you, though, Charlie? So Cyclones didn't have the firepower of Jack Edwards or Liam Guthrie for either of those matches. But they'll know the history of, you know, the for and against as the name, you know, the Cyclones taking on the Blaze. So they won't want to lose anything. But well done to Martin as well. He had a dropped ball, and a couple of balls later, he was able to pick up another wicket. As you see that shot there, sun just starting to set to the left of the screen. And a beautiful afternoon here in Darwin. Beautiful changing sky. The colours is just amazing.
Dylan Hunter, the new batsman. Has to work forward for this one. Played it well. He'll get 2. And that's good running. The field is set back, and if you play the ball slowly, you don't hammer it, you can pick up a couple of runs. He got 2.
Bales didn't come off. One of the stumps is lit up. So Martin sees the funny side of that.
Just a beautiful sight, Shannon, isn't it? We're looking down on the cricket here, not that far from TIO Footy Stadium, where we've done lots of football matches in the past, but here at the cricket. Good return.
Yeah, it's good to see this series. This TIO Strike League has continued to grow from strength to strength. The Hobart Hurricanes have been the Big Bash team. They also brought up their WBBL side a couple of years ago as well. And they've been the one that have come up here and used it as a sort of a pre-season opportunity to get some players out there. And the Melbourne Renegades and the Melbourne Stars were hoping to do it for this one. But unfortunately, our thoughts are with them and everyone in Australia being affected by lockdown at the moment, and New South Wales and ACT. It's very much changing day to day, and I think Cricket NT have really been able to adjust to that. So we have 19 games. It's 4 teams in the round robin at the moment. And if their opportunity arises in a week, if something positive does happen quickly in Victoria, we might see the Stars and Renegades join us at some stage.
Rockacholli bowls, and this is hammered away from on top of the off stump, and no chance of a run out there. Backward point.
Wind's just picked up again as well, Charlie. So the photographer loses her cap.
Stabbed away for a single out towards the point area.
I'd say the breeze has really cooled things down. It's still saying it's 6:30, still 30 degrees.
And that wind, I mean, it
feels
got
like 32, but the wind for us locals,
it got up to about 20 kilometres an hour. What's going on? It's supposed to be the dry season. Beautiful weather here. Lots of Olympians in town as well in the Howard Springs Centre. They'll be released on Tuesday, or Monday rather. We might get to see them in the streets of Darwin on Tuesday. There's at least 10 of them.
Yeah, and the biggest name you could probably ask for the Australian Olympics at the moment, Emma McKeon, will be able to be paraded.
Rockacholli bowls on the leg stump, flicked around the corner off his toes. At the mid-wicket for a single.
So just back to the cricket and what Cricket NT are trying to do as well. This TIO Strike League that's starting today is really an extension of a Cricket 365 program, which they're trying to have higher cricket options for Australians in, you know, the new world we live in. A lot of Australian cricketers who aren't playing in the Australian teams at the moment, you know, would normally go overseas, probably play county cricket, get over to England, get over to any opportunities that they would. We're pretty lucky and safe here in the top end at the moment, touch wood.
Rockacholli played that reverse sweep round the corner. Oh, dropped short. No chance of a run there. And I was talking to former Australian captain the other day, Greg Chappell, about cricket in Darwin. He says it's a great place to play, and there's no reason why it shouldn't be a place where you come before you tour the subcontinent. There's no reason why that shouldn't happen. Of course, we did get a chance. We had a test match here many years ago against Bangladesh, and I think a one-dayer against Sri Lanka. But we didn't get big crowds to it, unfortunately, which Cricket Australia decided if there was a decision between Cairns and Darwin for a tour match, they'd give it to Cairns. We need more people to come along and watch it. But those that went along enjoyed it. I mean, they were good. Test cricket was good to see.
Just saw there on your left, the top of the screen there, talking about crowds. A few hundred in here on a Sunday afternoon enjoying the cricket.
9 overs, 3 for 58. Batting side here. City Cyclones invited to bat. Larkin's moved along to 20. Hunter's on 1. Run rate 6.2.
Martin's about to start his third over. Picked up a wicket in both overs as well. What can he do here?
Belted this one down to mid-off for a single. He's a wily spinner, Martin, I reckon. So, you know, he's not easy to... I don't think he's easy to hit. You do so at your peril if you don't get to the pitch of the ball or work out the spin. Hunter with all that in front of him. That's belted away. That's a good shot. Goes nearly out to the boundary. They're off for a couple. They get 2. So Hunter runs for him. Takes him up to 3. Off 3 balls. Martin 2 for 21. And Larkin's on 21. So it's all the 2s and the 1s. Here comes Martin. Tosses this up. That's hit down to mid-off. Run in from the boundary. Make sure it's only going to be the 1 run. That's that shot, Shannon, I was talking about. If you played it slowly, you can get 2. So if you, that's
gets quicker to the when it gets quicker to the fielder. You can only scamper through for 1. But yeah, if you're able to take a little bit off it. Larkin, yeah, that's top score at the moment.
Batting well, isn't he?
Certainly is. It's helped the City side get those 60 runs on the board.
He's jumped down the wicket, got that, turned it into a full toss and hit it out on the leg side. Not the best return you'd ever want.
I'll be happy he was quick off the boundary, so he's only able to get 1 for the batsman.
Hunter on 4, Larkin on 22, 3 for 61. We're in the 10th over. Hit this around the corner. It's a good return. Whipped it into the keeper. Took the bails off, but they were safe. No chance of a run out.
No, Larkin was quick down the pitch. Apart from a drop catch, they've been pretty impressive in the field.
Look, and speaking of that field, it looks so good. But just say that we went for a walk out there, and it's like a bowling green. It's just perfect. So the curators do good jobs, don't they, really, here, given the weather that we have?
Yeah. Just at the crease, there's a few cracks that are opening up. We're in a warmer patch, but down the middle is a bit of green grass on there.
Martin and Larkin hits him out to mid-off. Through for a single. End of the over. 3 for 63. 10 overs gone. So, if you're doing the calculation, 6.3 and over.
Yeah, it's been a pretty good innings from Larkin. Coming in with not many runs on the board. I'm just going to stop for a drink break.
So 10 overs, so you'd have to accelerate. You'd start to accelerate from now, because I'm just thinking if you double that, you'd finish up with a 126, which might not be enough.
Yeah. Probably the 12th or 13th over, depending on how many wickets. You can get going then. They've got enough in the sheds. Still to come for the Cyclones. Edmundston, Pednecker, Waring, Hurling, Guthrie. But I think for Nick Larkin, he's the man that really should be the one that the City side are looking towards to really build on this score. See the beautiful sky that we're so privileged to have. We have the best sunsets in Australia.
Often go for a ride along the coast out in the northern suburbs of Casuarina Beach and watch the sunset. You take your phone with you and you've got to stop and take photos. Keep taking the same photos all the time.
Mind you, I don't think it does justice. You can never capture it.
No, it's true.
I don't think I'm that bad a photographer, but you can never capture it when you just look at the beautiful blue and skies turning purple. Lights in full effect here at DXC Arena in Darwin. And the first time that we've seen this strike league format under lights as well.
2 for 25. Who would you rather be, Shan, right at this point? The Cyclones or the Blaze?
Oh, I think City, with the way Larkin's been able to get them back. These next 2 overs will be interesting. If Larkin can stay in and still just build on this run rate, 12th, 13th over, they'll just want to start going, I think.
So Hunter on 5, Larkin on 23, Martin 2 for 25, the best of the bowlers. Starting the 11th over. So Andrews to come back into the attack. No wicket for 4 off his 1 over. See what he can do. He's a lefty. Outside the off stump, slashed at it. Didn't get a touch.
No, but rightly so. The appeal straight away because it had beaten.
Larkin batting pretty well here. This is on the stumps. He works it away off leg stump, out through backward square leg, or forward square leg rather, for a single. Look at that return. What a bullet. So I wonder if you're a great fielder and you've got a great return, should you show it earlier on or should you loop it in?
No.
Rip it in.
Definitely keep them on their toes. Just whip it in. Because every time it goes out near that area now, they'll be hesitant to run.
Andrews outside the off stump. It's up in the air. It came off his pads, I think, the appeal. It's going to be leg buys. They've run 2. Nearly went for 4. They're going to turn around and make it 3. It's the first 3 of the match, I think.
Good work there from Martin coming around.
They went a long way if it came off the pads. He did play the shot though, so legitimately can take the run. Larkin 24 facing. Back on his stumps and pushes it back down the wicket. So here he comes again. Andrews bowls. This has worked out towards mid-off and through for a single. 3 for 67. 68 rather. Larkin 25. Hunter 8. Captain comes in and bowls left arm. Turn this around the corner from off stump. Out through for a quick single. So Larkin pretty good. 3 for 64, 24 off 28 balls. That's
exactly.
Good batting. He's working the singles.
Exactly.
Haven't seen many boundaries, just the one, I think.
Yeah, and in terms of that was Keegan Oates as well, but just in terms of Larkin, he's playing a very good innings at the moment. Another couple of overs and he'll want to start swinging though. Get that run rate over more towards 7 and 8.
So you start building from here, don't you? The last 5 overs you need, if you're not losing wickets, you can have a real go at it. So this is Roger Collie again. He bowls at one end and then at the other end. They keep shifting around. He's hit him on the pads as an appeal. Not out, says the umpire. Throw at the stumps. They hurry through for a single. A dangerous one. Roccacioli took the bails off, but the batsman was safe.
That's a slide in there, didn't he, Hunter? Appeal for LBW, and then they decided to take for a run.
And on the scurry, he didn't quite... I mean, he got there, but he made them work for it. Here's Roccacioli again. Sort of worked that around the corner. It was outside off stump, and he worked it around on the onside for a single.
Great running from Nick Larkin. He wanted to in that. Hunter's still just recovering from diving on the ground, adjusting his gloves.
So the intent is starting to become evident as we pass the halfway mark.
Wind's picked up as well. We've got birds sitting above us in the light towers.
There's an appeal for what? I'm not sure. It seemed outside the line of the stumps, so not an LBW appeal. Well, maybe it was.
Yeah, I think they're just 2 appeals in the road, trying to put pressure on him.
Whatever, they got a no from the umpire. Just the one here. And the umpires are good people, you know. If you appeal, they don't say no, they just give a gentle shake of their head, and that's enough. There's no question after that.
And then they're not over the top appealing, but
No.
you know, there was 2 appeals in a row, just putting pressure on the batsman.
Sometimes the appeal...
Just letting them know they think they're getting close.
Yeah. Sometimes the appeal's a little exuberant. might deserve a no.
Yeah.
This is belted away.
Or
Down
not,
to mid-off for a single.
even not again. We'd love to pick up a wicket with the ball,
Yeah.
Roccacioli, but did drop an easier catch a couple of overs earlier with Martin bowling.
He was all at sea then, Larkin. He saw him coming, I think, Roccacioli, and then speared it out towards the leg side and got him trapped a bit. Got him on the leg. He's got a little bit of a limp from it. Good over. Roccacioli bowling well. Larkin 28, Hunter 10. And the City Cyclones 3 for 74 after 12 overs. Wickets to fall. Edwards for 10. Kellaway made 15 and Oates made 10.
You just saw there Larkin in the middle, both batsmen just having a conversation. Larkin's taking his gloves off, helmets off. It was just over on his haunches. It is, as locals, it's beautiful breeze, but I think for our visitors, still very warm, 30 degrees.
So the wicketkeeper too took his helmet off. And the runner came out and picked it up. That's Max Hatzoglu, up from Melbourne. Works in a local radio station here.
You'll hear him as part of our coverage.
Guess he's going to join us in the commentary box, isn't he, at some point? Looking forward to doing a match with him. Some of the coming matches. So the ball thrown to Chris Tremaine. Got a wicket, didn't he? Got rid of Edwards. Caught behind for 10. Larkin 28, Hunter 10. Tremaine 1 for 10 off 1 over. And the field has been spread out. The wicketkeeper's given up his helmet. So we get the feeling some fireworks are about to happen in the next few overs. Here's Tremaine running in, right arm over the wicket. Stands back and hits it to backward point. No run.
A lot of good talk and chatter, encouragement out there from Desert Blaze after they won the toss earlier and elected to bowl. they're confident with their strike power that they want to see City Cyclone set a target that they can chase down.
It's a little replay of that. There's an adjustment to the side screen too, Shannon. You can see that in the background. So she's coming. What's he doing? He's coming around the wicket. Tremaine, former Australian player. Still kind of keen to play more. Speared that one away as he saw the batsman moving a little bit, but he managed to get through for a single.
Had to dig that out, didn't he? He did well, Larkin.
He speared it in, didn't he?
Not only the pace, but it was a full toss going down towards, not quite a Yorker as such that he had to dig it out, but it was still quite low.
Current run rate 6.08. The 13th over, 20 over match, if you've just joined us. Blaze won the toss and sent the Cyclones into bat. They're 3 for 75. Shortish ball. Harmless, but just a little reminder, I think, from the bowler. Because you really can't, I mean, the short ball's not much value to you really, unless it's a shock ball at some point in an over, isn't it, really, that catches the batsman unaware. And it's hit high in the air. They're getting underneath, running in, diving catch. Did he get it? No, he didn't. He might have, and he spilt it in the end.
That has been dropped by Osaka, and Nick Larkin thought that he was gone. As soon as he skied that up into the air, Charlie, his head dropped and he just walked through for a single. Didn't even want to watch the outcome of that. Knew that, well, thought that the outcome was going to be that he's out, and it just didn't carry to Osaka, who dived desperately. So
Tremaine a little unlucky.
Survives that one.
10 fielders to do the job for him. Could have gone anywhere. Just landed short of the fielder. Now he's giving me another chance. This time he's parked underneath it and will take the catch. Well, he didn't learn. He gave him the same ball, and he played the same shot. So Hunter's on his way. Out for 11. Good bowling, Tremaine. Second wicket for him. Have a look at it here on replay. That's that same ball.
Big top edge. So the fourth wicket falls there. And Hunter has to trudge off there in the background. So we see new batsman come out for the Cyclones. Ryan McElduff joining Larkin out in the middle. He's doing all the damage at the moment.
How many did Hunter make? Did you have his score, Shane?
Just trying to bring up the screen. I think the wind's playing havoc with.
Here's McElduff walking out. So 4 for 76 in the 13th over. 1 ball to go. Tremaine gets his second wicket. Sent Dylan Hunter on his way. Larkin's 29 off 36. McElduff on strike, the first ball. Gets a short one outside the off stump. Nice little welcome.
Hunter was out, he got 11 after facing 12 deliveries. He really just was being the support act for Larkin, wasn't he?
Yeah, did it well. There's Larkin on strike. He's going to face Tremaine. Last ball of the 13th over. Got his left hand to that. Turned 2 runs into 1. Little ping at the stumps. They're safely through for a single, 4 for 77. 78.
And that was Andrews, the captain, that had taken that catch as well off the bowling of Tremaine to dismiss Hunter. So he's actually taken 2 catches.
Yes, he got Kellaway as well, didn't he?
Yeah. So Martin's with 2 and Tremaine has 2 wickets. But yeah, Andrews has been impressive and very reliable under the ball.
So Tremaine a couple, and the other wicket taker was Martin with 2. So they got 2 each of the 4 wickets to fall. So Hamish Martin to continue the bowling.
This is his 4th over as well.
2 for 25 he's got.
So he's got 2 more overs left.
He's gone into Larkin. He's had to use his foot and he used his feet work, and he used it pretty well, and he belted it over the infield out to the boundary for 4. Good shot. So the boundary is a good one. Larkin starting to open his shoulders up now, and you'd expect he should be 34. He goes to of 38 balls. He's the man they've got to get out. So he retains the strike. He's had a good sighter. It's only belt through the, tried to get it through the offside. They take 1, the fielding spills away, and they go for 2. Thought about 2 but didn't take it. The return was good to the keeper.
Well done to Larkin as well. He just was at the non-striker's end and did not want to run. There was no, he's
Not interested.
no, he was not interested. Just letting McGelduff know that he probably wouldn't have made it back in time. So very clever there from Larkin.
Let's see what McGelduff can do. So he bats at number 5. Turn that around the corner. That was a good shot. No one down there. That's going to roll all the way. Will it go all the way? Didn't. They were able to stop it. Must have got 3 surely.
So they're full of wickets. Keegan Oates went first. They were 1 for 11. And Jack Edwards, second wicket to fall. They made it 2 for 26. Kellaway added 15. It was 3 for 50. And the last wicket they've just lost was 4 for 76. So they've added 10 quick runs here.
So here's Larkin on strike. No slip down there. That's going to roll all the way down to the boundary for 4. No, it won't. They've run around from third man. Good chase for the ball. Just 3 for a couple. 2 runs.
Good chase there from Osaka, but it did look like the ball just did slow up a bit.
Larkin to 37. He's got the bulk of the runs, hasn't he? Out of 88. He's almost got half of them. He gets this down to mid-off, fielded there. No run.
See now, darkness setting in. Local time, 7 o'clock. So this match has been going for an hour. We were treated to a beautiful sunset here in Darwin. And the players and the umpires are just adjusting to this game under lights.
Bit short, that ball. He's hit it inside the circle. So Larkin stays on 37, McGelduff on 3. End of the over. Martin 2 for 35.
As both batsmen meet in the middle. Larkin straight away, gloves off, helmet off. He's absolutely dripping out there. Puffing, probably just telling his new batsman to the crease, McGelduff, that he's been out there for some time and that he is feeling the effects. He probably might see so many singles, quick singles.
And there's been a few, hasn't there? Been a lot
Yeah.
of singles.
Larkin's probably just telling him how long he's been out there for.
Good player, Nick Larkin, showing that here. Works this away for a single only. Probably said to McGelduff, hit a couple of 4s if you can. So save us running. Square cut this, cut the point, no run. Went quickly. Good bowling by Andrews. Now this is high in the air. They're running from everywhere. It's going to land safe between a couple of fielders out there. And they go through for 2. Andrew's getting a little frustrated. You can see that when the ball goes up in the air, it's there for a long time. There's 10 fielders out there. Surely someone can get to it, but they not always can. There's a lot of space out there when you think about it. He's stumped. Great bowling. He's gone down the wicket. Didn't make any contact. Keeper on it in a flash. Take the bails off. Out.
So 39 off 44 deliveries. Great contribution from Nick Larkin, but you would have to say that he was starting to look very, very tired out in the middle at the change of ends, and he's now coming off. He just went down the wicket with a wild swing there. He was looking to get going, wasn't he?
Yeah.
The ball before he tried to hit that, didn't connect it well, but it just dropped in between 3 fielders, and then he's just tried to go down the field, down the wicket, and smash that straight back over Andrews' head. And
you've got to give credit to Andrews too. I mean, he figured he would have known what Larkin was up to.
He went very early, didn't he?
And he got it past him, and the keeper did a good job. The bail's off.
So that fall of wicket is 5 for 91. And that is very timely for Desert Blaze, because that's broken that partnership, but more importantly, it's taken Larkin out. He's top scored for City on 39. And now we have 2. Well, McKelduff is pretty fresh, but Edmonston's come straight out, and they are going to have to get going in these last couple of overs.
No run there. McKelduff's on 4. Edmonston, the new batsman, faced 1 ball. He gets another one. Goes down the wicket and completely beaten. That's good bowling by Andrews. Terrific work in this over. 2 wickets for him, and he's still got a ball remaining. So Edmonston's come and gone.
And they have not added to that score as well, as we see the replay here. Just clean bowled him. Bails go flying. Stumps are going to have to be realigned, and that was a beautiful delivery. And that's the problem coming so late into an innings, isn't it? Directives probably, we need to get going and swinging, and you do that against someone like Andrews. He had faced a ball, Edmondson, otherwise he would have been on a hat-trick.
So Pednekar comes on. Yes, Pednekar. So the partnership broken, and 2 wickets gone in a hurry. 2 for 13, Andrews. Rochichelli to come on. There's no wicket for 11 off his 3 overs. 6 for 91. 15 overs gone. So 5 overs left. Darkness has settled. Beautiful sight out there. The green oval with all lit up by these wonderful lights here. Tossed outside the off stump, down the wicket, down to mid off for a single. Only get 2. Good fielding.
That's Martin, and he's doing it all at the moment, isn't he?
Couple of wickets.
Ball and out in the field. A bit like Andrews.
Corey Rockacholi, right arm over the wicket, down the leg side, stumping chance, no. Wide, the umpire says. That's fair enough, I think. Wouldn't disagree with that. Jen, I mean, you wouldn't have much chance of playing a shot to it.
Nickname of the man coming in, Rockstar. Not waiting for the umpire even to get it set. He's ready in.
Well pitched up this time and worked off the pads. Out to that deep mid wicket for a single. So Pednekar is off the mark. McKelduff comes on strike. He's on 5 from 3 balls. Facing Rockacholi, no wicket for 14 in his 4th over. Outside the off stump, has a big slash out of it. He's kept his foot in the crease. Bales came off in a hurry, but he hadn't come out of the crease. And so the umpire, of course, has said not out.
Still flashing that bail, and now it's stopped. Really has changed the way that we can see what's happening with the bails so far away.
But Charlie, gee, that's a dangerous shot, but he's got a single out of it. You put a lot on the line when you do that. You move your feet away and leave the stumps exposed, but you've got to actually hit the ball, and he managed to do that pretty well then, McKelder. He moves to 6, Pennicar back on strike. Rochichelli comes in, bowls to him outside the off stump, and he belts this high. They're getting underneath it, and the catch taken. Dropping back there, good catch taken.
That was Tom Andrews. Captain picks up his 3rd catch in the field. So he's done extremely well. There have been a couple of comfortable catches. You can see this. Huge top edge. Only had to take 2 or 3 steps back there, Andrews. Comfortably taken on the chest.
So Rocket Charlie gets the wicket. Are you happy with that? Pennicar on his way, out for just 1 run.
So Andrews
having a big
bit
match.
of a ball magnet at the moment in the field. That's his 3rd catch.
Waring, the next batsman in. Banjo Waring.
So wickets falling aplenty here after Larkin departed. It was 5 for 91. Edmonston was out for a duck, unable to contribute. And Pedneca only added 1, and they're 7 for 95.
Oh, I know who I'd rather be right now, I think. Maybe the wise decision to send the Cyclones into bat. Rochichelli, 1 for 15, runs in and bowls. And again, he walks across his stumps and works it around the corner. They go through for a single.
No ball, so he's going to have to do that again. Rochichelli just asking.
Oh, he's showing him.
The umpire's just showing him where his foot planted. So Brendan Muldoon just showing him where he went over.
Now the batsmen are going to have a mid-wicket conference here.
He's going to try a different area, Charlie. He's going to go around the wicket.
It hit nicely off the bat. It was on its way for a 4, but it's never going to beat the field out there.
They only managed 1, as you mentioned. You're hitting it hard to try and find the boundary, but you're also hitting it hard to the fieldsmen that are out on the boundary. So with the arms that the fielders have these days, the cricketers' level of fielding has just increased. He's whipped that in, and they're only ever going to get 1 out of that.
Rochichelli 1 for 23 from his 4 overs. McKelder 7. Waring 1. 7 for 103 in the 17th over.
They're going to have to get going, but unfortunately, they just struck over 100, but be wanting at least 30 in this last couple of overs, but they're going to have to get going with these new batsmen.
Well, T20, normally teams can bat right down, can't they? So if they're 7 wickets down, it's likely there could be batsmen 8 and 9 at the wicket. That was a good shot. That's played well. Got past the fielder there, rolling towards the boundary. Fielder got around there to cut it off. And they scampered through for a couple. Waring to 3. This is Tremaine, 2 for 16, bowl well today. Have to move the side screen. Darkness came to us in a hurry.
It did. I was so engrossed with the cricket that was happening out there.
We looked up on the screen and we could see the green and the black, the green grass and the black sky. So here comes Tremaine. A couple of wickets to his name. The big fast bowler bowls, slanted that ball in, got up around just above waist high, worked it away for a single. Wearing to 4. Seven for 106. Tremaine would fancy himself here, I think, with these tail enders. He's got a couple. Still 3 wickets there to be taken. Gets 3 of them, he'll have 5 for the match, which would be a pretty good return.
Yeah, and this is his 3rd over.
Oh, that's a great shot. Stepped inside it and belted it down to where the long stop normally used to be, but they don't have them anymore. And that rolled away for 4. That's a really good shot. He stepped inside it and hit it straight back over the wicket-keeper's head, and it went for 4. Great shot.
Yeah, McElduff there, just using the pace of the ball as well, didn't he?
Have a look on replay here, Shan.
Watch Tremaine coming in. He's moved across and he's just ramped that straight up and over the wicket-keeper. And there was no way the 2 fielders were going to get around to get that. That just had so much pace on it.
He's invited him to do it again. This time he stood back and he cut it out square towards the point boundary, and they ripped through for a single.
It's been a good over for McElduff.
Yeah.
Much needed boundary. They're going to need 1 or 2 boundaries in these last couple overs. Try and make their way to 140.
Because when you pick these T20 sides, you can't have 4 bunnies at the end, can you? I mean, they've got to be able to bat as well as bowl, you know. So there's specialist batsmen, and then there's maybe 1 specialist bowler, and the rest are all rounders. Tremaine 2 for 22. Took that away shoulder length round the corner. Off for a single. They're going to make it 2. They scurry away and get through for 2. So they've lifted the run rate. These 2, McElduff and Waring, working together. Waring 6, McElduff 12.
And they had to get going, didn't they? And I guess too, though, you know, when you have a look at your sort of your last 4 that to come in, you're probably hoping that your openers might get a few more than they did. Edwards and Oates getting 10 apiece.
Tremaine last ball. Well, nothing to be gained in any of that, but that was the last ball of the over. 2 for 24. Chris Tremaine.
A little frustrated there, I think. He not only came all the way down the wicket to try and kick the ball at the stumps, and as he ran past the stumps, he just absolutely smashed them with his hands. So he's probably a little personally frustrated at the moment. Umpire's just fixing up the wickets that he absolutely destroyed with his hands.
This might be Kerr coming back on, Chan. I think Hayden Kerr. They had him on earlier, didn't they?
Yep, Hayden Kerr. We saw him earlier in the match. Actually opened the bowling for Desert Blaze. First time we'll see him from the airport end as well.
Gee, the lights are good. I haven't been out here for a cricket match, and they're really, they're strong, good for cricket. Here's Kerr, left arm over the wicket, and the ramp shot again goes back and hits it straight back over the keeper's head, and it's going to roll away for 4 more runs.
Oh. McElduff did it at one end, now he's just done it at the other end. So he moves up to 16.
What's a good score for them, Chan? They're in their 18th over. So got 2 to go after this one. So virtually 3 overs left. Maybe they could get another 20, 25 runs.
Yeah, you'd hope so.
Get them up around 140 maybe. Down the leg side, hit through the offside. Didn't get through the field. Fielding out there, no run. 1 run rather. McElduff moves to 17. That's good off 10 balls. Waring 6 from 5.
He just is happy to go down and give Waring some advice. Banjo Waring.
It's a good name, Banjo.
Yeah.
It's a great poet, wasn't he, Banjo Patterson?
Certainly was.
Oh, that's a good shot. Just pulled it around out through mid-wicket. Didn't get to the fence, or the rope rather. They're only able to get a single. It was a good shot. Stood there, played it well, rolled his wrist over the top of the ball, kept it to the ground.
That was Kobe Edmonston. Got a good arm. He's been fielding well on the boundary. Anytime it's gone near him, they've actually only been able to pick up one.
Hayden Kerr. And there's time to Kelduff. Slower ball. And caught him moving outside. He premeditated and he gave it away just a little too early. And Kerr was able to slow the ball down and bowl it. So it dropped down at his feet almost of the batsman. Cricket's such a game of that, isn't it? It's cat and mouse all the time. You've got to be thinking. You can't just keep running in and just bowling. You've got to work it all out. And batsmen can't just keep playing that same shot. They've got to work all that out. It's a great game. He's gone high with this one, running in. Almost a chance to catch it out there. Rockacholli couldn't get it again.
That would have been a tough get, so he was lucky to get back up. Restrict any further runs than that one. But Edmonston, McElduff still trying those ramp shots, hitting it high in the air. Nearly picked out a fielder.
Hayden Kerr, last ball of his over. That's hit away past the fielder, but the backup fielder comes around sweeping, gets it and whips the return in.
Great arm on him. Kobe Edmonston.
Kernan for 18 off his 3 overs.
That run rate that they'll be disappointed if they weren't able to get it up over 7. They'll now need in these last couple of overs, Charlie, to really start swinging.
Yeah. 2 overs to go, 7 for 122. Probably 20, 30 runs shorter than what they want. You'd want to aim for 140, 150, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I think 140.
Dances down the wicket, hits it out to cover, extra cover.
Is what they'd be wanting out of this, but had some slow patches, including Jack Edwards and Keegan Oates. They're 2 opening batsmen for 10 each. Got a lot more run than this wicket.
So Larkin, the best of them, 39. Good innings from him before he was out to the bowling of Andrews. That was a catch, diving full length forward. It was low key, but he took the catch, diving forward. It's a good catch, and so Waring's on his way. Here it is in replay.
It's Tremaine. Diving forward. Umpire just checking it was all clear. And Tremaine just casually caught it, kept it in the right hand as it was on the ground. And that sees the end of Waring. He made 7 off 6. McElduff, though, is the man who's got his eye in, and he's still out in the middle. He's just there waiting to talk to Liam Guthrie as he walks out.
Andrew 3 for 14. He's had a good day, hasn't he, the captain?
Certainly has.
And economical. He's in his 4th over, so they haven't been able to get hold of him.
Just having a talk to the man who now comes out on strike as well. He'll be cold. He'll be coming in knowing that they need to swing at everything, run at everything. So McElduff there just giving him some words of advice. Doesn't have too much time to take in the field settings.
Yep, and he's got a little touch on it. A little touch on it, dabbed at it. And Guthrie does the long walk. Walk in, gets a little edge, gives the catch, walks back off again. Have a look at it. Here's the replay. Andrews bowling wonderfully well here. Good catch by the keeper. Up close. He's out for a duck. Guthrie caught behind off Andrews.
You even hate to say those ones, Charlie. Golden duck.
Yeah.
He just didn't look settled as well. He walked out really quickly. Had one glance around on the onside and then just put his bat down. And so Andrews picks up another wicket.
So Kane Hurley comes in. So the wickets have fallen in a hurry. So the 140 is just not going to be realised. It's more like 130.
Got some height on him here, doesn't he?
Hurley, what's that?
The height of Hurley.
Tall bloke. Works us down the wing. I was thinking of Shannon inventing a long bat for a tall player.
Were you?
Andrews, he's a clever bowler, isn't he? He's thought this all through. He knows exactly what he's up to. 4 for 14. Wonderful return. Sterling effort.
Jack Edwards, the opener, who also plays for New South Wales and the Sixers, is a very tall opener.
So end of the over, a successful over for Andrews. 4 for 15 from his 4 overs. Wonderful return. McKelduff is 21. Hurley is on 9 for 124. And we've got the last over coming up.
And that will go to Tremaine from the airport end. A lot of chat out here. Can they keep him under 130?
So Tremaine with the bowling, 2 for 24. Multiples wicket taker, along with Andrews. And along with Martin as well. So he works that away, down to third man for a single. Yes, the danger here, the problem here, of course, is that you could have a swing, but you're the last one in. If you get out, that's the end of the innings. If you can stay there and poke it around a bit and pick up 3 runs, it might make the difference later on in the innings. When the Cyclones have to, the Blaze will chase the score. Runs at a premium. Here's Tremaine running in. Second ball of the last over. Got this around the corner for another single.
He'd be moving well across McKelduff. And Tremaine chased him, didn't he?
But if you can get 6 runs off the last over, you know, rather than swinging at them and trying to hit 4s, you might as well do it. So that seems the mindset anyway at the moment. Tremaine, what can he do to stop that? 4 balls left in the innings. 2 for 26 he has. This time he's had a big smash at it and he set it out deep in the field. They got underneath and the catch was taken and the innings comes to a close. All out for 126. To be a little disappointed with that in the end. But the bowling was pretty good. It was tough to get runs. Let's get some thoughts on the innings from Shannon Byrne. Shan.
Good catch there from Osaka, and that finishes off them. But having a look at the bowling, Tom Andrews, the captain, really led the way. 4 wickets for 15 runs. Look at that economy rate, Charlie. 3.75. Martin started well as well. Picked up 2 vital wickets. Martin did, of Kellaway and also the opener Keegan Oates. And so for the City Cyclones, though, it was Nicholas Larkin who top scored, 39 off 45. Just didn't have enough support around him. McKelder really held his bat just at the end, picking up those 22 runs off 15. And then they really do drop away. A couple of ducks as well. They'll be disappointed, I think, with their openers. Jack Edwards picking up 10 runs and also Keegan Oates 10 runs. And then it was left to Nicholas Larkin to do most of the heavy hitting. And as we mentioned, not enough support out there, Charlie, today.
No, Larkin terrific, the top of the order. McKelder there, not out on 22. Kellaway 15. Hunter got into double figures. Andrews, look at that bowling figures, 4 for 15. That's a match-winning performance, you would think, from Tommy Andrews. Just brilliant today in this match. So the target for the Desert Blaze when they come into bat is 127 for victory. Shannon, can they get it?
I think they certainly can. I mean, you know, let's not take too much away from, that was the final wicket there falling with Saka. Let's not take too much away from what we can see City Cyclones can do with the ball, but they will be very, very happy with their option of winning the toss and electing to bowl. Sent the City Cyclones in, and this opening match, well, it will be very interesting with the first couple of overs to see what the Cyclones can do. They'll need early wickets, as we just see the groundsman out here under lights here at DXC Arena for our first ever TIO Strike League match under lights. We'll be back in about 15 minutes time for this innings breaks. Both teams will have to regather. It's beautiful for locals, but it's pretty warm out there for some of our visiting cricketers. But we'll be back shortly to see if Desert Blaze can chase down 127 for victory.
And we welcome you back to DXC Arena here in Darwin for the first innings of the Desert Blaze as they chase down the City Cyclones. Score of 127. Larkin made 39 for them, and McElduff made 22 not out. Andrews took 4 for 15 in a pretty good effort, and Tremaine 3 for 26. So the target 127. Shannon Byrne with me. Should be a good run chase here. Delicately poised, I would think, although you'd think Cyclone would want it a little bit better than 127.
Yeah, to defend that, they really are going to have to be exceptional with the ball. They do go deep, though, with the bowling. Guthrie's in the side. But if you look at the star power that they had with their batsmen, they're going to have to do well here with the ball, Charlie.
Lightning delivery.
Doesn't get better than that, and they're up and about as well.
That's Liam Guthrie, isn't it, open the bowling there?
That's the man that they're going to expect a lot of big things in that opening ball. Had every player out there with a green shirt on, appealing to the umpire.
So that's Hayden Kerr and Jack White. So Hayden Kerr on strike. Here's Guthrie. So Kerr to face him. Gee, runs in a long way. He's a lefty. He's fast and he whips it down the leg side. And a wide, says the umpire. Wouldn't mind having a look at that on replay, but the pace of it really sometimes determined whether it's impossible to hit the ball on the leg side, and maybe that was what happened there. So Kerr on strike, White with him. Liam Guthrie, pace bowler. For the City Cyclones, Desert Blaze won the toss and fielded. It's pushed away by Kerr, no run.
Well, if they're able to chase down 127, they'll say they did the right thing electing to bowl, didn't they? But 6 o'clock start here, local time. We have the sun setting. The batsman had to adjust to the lights coming into full effect, which you can see now. But as the innings break, I just walked out there at Charlie as well, and a lot of cricketers will tell you even just fielding under lights is different as well. The higher the ball goes up.
Guthrie. So he just hit high. He's just dabbed the bat on it and it went almost to the boundary. He didn't hit it hard. He just dabbed the bat out. They went through for a couple, I reckon.
Picked up two. Edmondson just slipped there when he went to pick up the ball. Allowed them to get back for a comfortable 2.
So if you're somewhere around Australia and you're sitting at home watching this, temperature here is about chilly 28. Downey worked this down the leg side. That's going to go all the way, will it? No, they managed to stop it. And they ran through for 3.
Just in front of us, fingertips. By Hurley. Tall man had to get down, Charlie. He's just got his fingertips to stop that from becoming a boundary. Liam Guthrie from WA, Perth District Cricket Club, the left arm fast bowler. He's been up in Darwin for a couple of weeks, so I'll know these conditions well. Represented Western Australia at the under 15s, 17s and 19s level. And has played for the Warriors in WA as well.
Guthrie to Jack White, stands up on his toes and dabs it away on the offside.
Got the pressure on as well, Guthrie. He's got 2 slips in. It's the change of format we've seen as well with the T20 coming in. We didn't see a full over with slips in when Desert Blaze were bowling.
So good opening here. First over. They're already up to 7. And belted that one away too. Bouncing ball, good chase. Kept the ball in, threw it back to himself as he stepped outside over the rope. Did really, really well. It's a good chase down, wasn't it?
Oh, that was exceptional fielding. Talk about how much it has increased and just the knowledge and awareness to be able to run, sprint to his right, pick it up, knew that he was about to step on the rope, just threw it back up in the air, took one step out and back in. Here from this replay,
You might see it.
huge top edge. That flew down there very quickly. Just knew straight away to flick that back in, Charlie.
Played it back down the wicket that time. This might have been McKelder who did that fielding. It's pretty impressive. Kerr 2, White 2.
Good start there. 9 runs in the first over. A couple of extras as well.
Current run rate 9.
Five extras though in that opening over, Charlie, from Guthrie.
Yeah, it might have been 3. Were they? Not sure. Were they buys? Might have been leg buys, maybe. I didn't pick up the signal from the umpire, unfortunately. But certainly they are extras. So 5 extras. This is Edwards. Down the leg side.
Another wide.
Gee, you just have to be careful where you bowl down outside that leg stump.
Just threw his head back, and
So another extra.
it's always the risk as well, isn't it, Charlie? When you've got probably a lower score than you wanted to defend, you've got to come out straight away and early and try and pick up wickets. But in the process, they're picking up extras here quite quickly, the Cyclones.
Out towards point. So no wicket for 10. We're just in the second over. Early in the second over. Extra's the top scorer at the moment.
So Jack Edwards is the captain of the side, plays for New South Wales and also the Sydney Sixers.
So Edwards to Kerr. Hits it straight back down the wicket. It's always a good shot. Can't do much about that. That's a straight drive. Went for 4 runs. Beautiful shot.
Not sure if you're able to pick that up on the stream, but where we're sitting with our headphones right behind where Jack Edwards is running in, you can just hear the crunch of that ball, Charlie, as Kerr hit that.
Well, we were closer to it when it got the rope than any of the fielders, Shan.
Exactly.
We're directly just off a little bit to one side of this, straight behind the bowler's arm. Oh, that's a big wide. That's going to go all the way for 4 extras. Balloon out here.
Well, you had a chuckle. Jack Edwards sees the funny side of it. He's just can't believe that that's what he's doing at the moment.
It slipped out of his hand, did it? Yes, it did. He's going to slant that in, and it slipped out of his fingers.
It slanted out. So they move on to none for 19, and we are 2 legal balls into the second over. That run rate, 14.25.
So Edwards again gets his radar working. That's better. And this is belted again. That's a big hit down over mid-on and over the rope for 4 more. So an explosive start here. We'll be going home early, Shan, if this keeps up.
Well, that's the 3rd time it's hit the boundary, and one of them was with a wide. This is an expensive over.
It's a good shot though, wasn't it?
Didn't even have to use his feet, did he? Just stood and delivered. 1 bounce over the boundary.
So Kerr's 10, White 2, score 23. Edwards none for 14. This one, he's whipped it around towards square leg, and it's gone out of the fielder's hand and over the rope for another 4. Explosive start here.
That absolutely flew to Kellaway. Tried to take it awkwardly, and yeah, the spill, if you have a look here, just bounced before him, and Kellaway wasn't able to do much with that, and fortunately the bounce of the ball is going all the way for Kerr at the moment.
Gee, you got a feel for Edwards.
No, the boundary.
Don't you? He's getting mauled here. He's been a bit wayward, and they've seized upon it.
Kerr has 3 fours, but also there was a wide that went for 4, so Edwards is expensive. Goes a slower ball there, Charlie.
Yeah, good one too.
Needed to mix it up, didn't he?
So the target, if you've just joined us, 127.
They have 11 extras at the moment, Cyclones, and if you have a look, still inside the second over, remarkably. The Blaze had 9 extras for their whole bowling innings.
Edwards again. Runs in, bowls outside the off stump, stands up on his toes, pushes it out into the covers. Good fielding, cuts it off. And a long over comes to an end for Edwards. It's the last ball of the over. Good fielding in the covers.
We'll have a very long walk back to the rope, Edwards.
They exploded out of the blocks, didn't they? The Desert Blaze.
Yeah.
And blaze they did. They blazed away. None for 28.
11 of those 28 runs are extras. A very disappointing start for the City Cyclones.
So this is Guthrie again. That's a big hit. And that's gone for 4. 4 more.
4 more to Hayden Kerr. This is absolutely thrilling cricket to watch at the moment. Maybe he wants an early mark. He's hit 4 fours now. To race to 19 off 10 deliveries, and that's all in 13 minutes, Charlie, at the crease for him.
And he's improvising as well, isn't he? Gets his feet in the wrong place, but still plays a shot.
And it's the crunch of the ball and the bat. His timing is just perfect. Big hits here at DXC Arena in Darwin, the opening match for the TIO Strike League.
Hayden Kerr
4th year of competition, yeah.
Right-handed bat. He stands there and belts that out towards point. Some good fielding, cut it off. A dot ball. Kerr 19, White 2.
Sure, White would just be very happy to sit back and watch this unfold. Not having have to do too many sprints, is he? White. It's all just finding the boundary at the moment, Charlie.
Maybe everyone's got to work early tomorrow, I think. From the Desert Blaze, they're in a hurry. Here comes Guthrie. Got underneath this. That's a great shot. Beautifully played. Wow. He is some bat. 2
bounces into the boundary. A couple of players out there for the City Cyclones in the green, just putting their hands up in the air in frustration.
Watch this, Shan. Great eye. Fabulous shot. Goes over the top too. Now they're going to change and bowl around the wicket, I think.
Need to do something, because Hayden Kerr from New South Wales plays for the Sydney Sixers. Played for Cricket Australia 11 in the top end series that was held here over the last 2 weeks as well, which saw Tim Payne up here, the Australian Test cricket captain, very popular with the young kids.
He's going to be left arm around the wicket. He'll slant this in, and he belts it away again, and he's caught. He's been caught at mid-wicket.
Beautiful catch straight down, but Kerr's innings comes to an end. Gets a huge applause as well from his teammates in the shed. Just wasn't able to get it on the edge of the bat. Good bowling from Guthrie.
Good thinking,
More
Guthrie.
towards, yeah, changing where he was coming around the wicket, but also it was just more towards the body, and he wasn't able to swing at that how he had been the rest of his innings. That was an easy catch in the end that dismisses the opener, Kerr, for 23 off 12 deliveries. That's a huge start there for Desert Blaze. It was caught Neil off the bowling of Guthrie, and they are currently chasing down 127 for victory. And that was a handy start there. 1 for 36. And hard to believe, Charlie, they're in the third over.
And Hugo Burden comes in. It's about wearing number 16. And Jack White, who's at the other end, says, get a single if you can. Couple of balls left in the over. So Guthrie clever changed, went from over the wicket to around the wicket, slanted it in. And he tried to pull it around through mid-wicket, and the catch was taken.
Yep, you've read that right if you're just joining us. Desert Blaze, first wicket to fall, 1 for 36. That's after Hayden Kerr got 23. It's the 11 extras that were very expensive in the first 2 overs here for City Cyclones.
So Burden on strike to face his first ball. Oh, didn't move his feet, played at it. It's outside the off stump. Lucky not to get an edge.
No real appeal from the man behind the wicket there, Waring.
Just the one slip back there too. Now they're thinking about bringing in a gully.
Why wouldn't you if you're comfortably beating him with the first ball? Could be an edge in any of the last ball, at least, from Guthrie.
Last ball of Guthrie's over. Bouncer. He's come back strongly, hasn't he, Guthrie? Good effort from him. 1 for 36.
So when you look at the fall of wickets from where City Cyclones were, around 36 balls, they'd already lost 2 wickets as well. They were 2 for 26 after both of their openers went for 10. Keegan Oates was 1 for 11. Jack Edwards made it 2 for 26. And Desert Blaze, after a fiery start from Hayden Kerr, they're 1 for 36 at the start of the 4th over. Change of bowlers as well here, Charlie.
Not surprising. Jackson Edmonston, is it?
Mm-hmm. Earlier for the City Cyclones, the New South Welshman Nick Larkwin top scored, didn't he, for 39.
Batted well too, didn't he? Timed it well, built the innings. Got out when he started to chase the runs.
Victorian. Plays for the Melbourne Stars. He was a product of New South Wales North Coastal Zone, though. Moved to Victoria after schooling in Sydney.
Here's Edmonston. They dance down the wicket. This is coming straight to where we are. Lucky it missed us, Shannon, but 4 runs. Good shot. Now, just on that, with those Melbourne teams, they were planning to come, but because of lockdown, they're not able to come. But there is an expectation that they will or might join us if the Melbourne hotspot is revoked from Sunday the 22nd of August. So that's next Sunday. We might see those 2 teams here, the Melbourne Renegades and the Melbourne Stars. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, there'd been a lot of talk the last couple of days.
Caught and bowled. Slower ball. Caught him out. Good bowling. Clever. Edmonston, after being belted, he bowled a slower ball and got the wicket.
Yeah, Jack White can't believe it. Just put his head straight back. Wasn't too much of a reaction from the City Cyclones as well, was there? That was another wicket which they desperately needed. So now 2 for 40. And both of the openers have now gone back into the shed for the Desert Blaze. But Jack White, after a brilliant boundary, He's just prodded at that, and that's gone straight back to the bowler, Edmonston.
So we're expecting Tom Andrews to be the next batsman, the captain.
Yep. Had a great time in the field as well. It was a bit of a ball magnet, wasn't he?
He was
a
terrific.
number of catches. 3 catches, including Nick Larkman, the danger man for the City Cyclones.
So Andrews took 4 for 15. That was good bowling from him, really.
Just quickly back to the Stars and the also Renegades, and yeah, there'd been a lot of talk leading up to it just before they weren't able to come. Glenn Maxwell would be in town. There was a lot of excited parents that were going to bring the kids out. I have got to see Tim Payne up close, and he was very generous during the series between Cricket Australia A and the NT Strike 11.
Gee, they come back strong here, the City Cyclones, after that onslaught. But Edmonston's been good. Both these openers yet to score. There's the first runs for these two.
Still an impressive current run rate, isn't it? Got up to nearly 15 runs a ball in those first 2 or 3 overs. It's just dropped back now to 10.70, and that is still a very, very handy cricket run rate when you consider we've got 1 more ball to come in the 4th over.
Yeah, so if you're in your 4th over and you've got 40 runs and you're chasing 127, you're in the best position. So Burden on strike now. Andrews has 1. Edmonston to bowl. Plays a reverse sweep. It's a single.
So this has been going for 4 years, this competition. Still attracting really great big names. And cricketers from all across Australia are able to put their interest in. This year we've got Jack Edwards playing, Nick Larkin, Guthrie. You know, in a couple of weeks you'll be seeing the likes of Jack Edwards there, the man at the top of your screen in the green. He'll be wearing magenta, Charlie.
Okay.
For the Sydney Sixers. Looks a little magenta, the Desert Blaze out in the middle, but we can tell you there with that view that they are red.
The colours are good, aren't they? I mean, you've got to have them under lights. It's just cricket has been transformed into something really appealing to the eye.
Absolutely.
I mean, I love the Test cricket, being traditionalist, but
You can love it all though, can't you?
yeah, but I do like the colours of the one-day teams, or the T20s rather,
So
and the one-days.
New bowler here, Kane Hurley.
Hurley works us around the corner. Andrews scampers through for a single. So the onslaught didn't last that long, Shannon, and then it's the brakes were put on. So it's been some good bowling here.
Yeah. 11 extras in 2 overs is something that, you know, they'll look back on. They've gifted them 11 runs with wides. A number of them going to the boundary as well.
So Hurley, this is his first over, runs in, right arm over the wicket. He's a quick bowler. He belts this out towards point.
That just didn't carry. He's lucky there that that didn't go all the way there to Jackson Edmonston, Charlie. Just dropped in front of him. Picked out the fielder, didn't he?
Yeah, but he played it well. He leant into the shot, didn't he? He didn't try to smash it and guided it. So both these two, Burden and Andrews on 2, Burden on strike, facing Hurley. And now he pulls it around the corner. That's a good looking shot. I don't think anyone's going to get to that. That races away for 4 runs. Good shot, beautiful shot. Just pulled it around the corner, raced to the boundary.
So Burden originally from Queensland, the Gold Coast Dolphins. And this is part of the 365 cricket up here in the top end. There's a number of series going on. Made 100 in round 2 of the 50 over of this series.
Faces Hurley again and gets him off the hip down towards fine leg with just the single.
That will bring...
So Burden 7-2 for 49. Sorry, Sam.
Bring Tom Andrews back in on strike. He's the captain of this side. Plays for Tasmania and also the Darwin Cricket Club here.
He's a lefty. So he went to pull that around the corner onto the onside, and it finished up on the offside. It's a trick shot.
Lucky it didn't finish up on the stumps. But he was last summer's Marsh One-Day Player of the Year, tied with David Warner. He's contracted with Cricket Tasmania. His dad, Ronnie Andrews, the coach of his side in Tasmania.
Oh, that's a good shot. Just glided it away and get a couple.
Good running. Knew he had enough on that. And the throw back in.
And Shannon, that shot that Burden played when he hit it past square leg, it wasn't a full-blooded pull shot. It was more like a thump at the ball. He just sort of punched at the ball and hit it square of the wicket on the onside. It was a nice shot, and that one there too just leant into it and just slowly.
Andrews just guided that beautifully, and as you said, it didn't try and go with the pace of the ball. He tried to take a bit of the pace off, so then he was able to scamper back for two.
To get the 2 runs, yeah.
You know,
2 for 51.
So they're chasing down 127 for victory. They're going along nice, comfortably at the moment, aren't they?
Ryan McElduff, who did that brilliant bit of fielding a short time ago, has been rewarded by getting a bowl.
Only need a 76 for victory here. The start of the 6th over.
There's 15 overs to go. Current run rate 10.2. Here comes McElduff. First ball of the innings for him. Plenty of time waiting for Burden. This went through for a single. So 2 for 52.
Blazer out in the middle, won the toss and elected to bowl. Right decision, because they were trickier conditions much earlier. At 6 o'clock local time starting here in Darwin. It was breezy, the sun was starting to set, and now it is very, very still evening here in Darwin. Local time 8:10.
Something a bit classy about Andrews. He's got a lot of bottom hand into his shots. He's on 5. Burden on strike. He's on 8. Facing McElduff. Just outside the off stump. Pushes it onto the offside. No run.
First time we've seen for a while that run rate just dip below 10. Still very impressive.
It's a risky shot, but it's high reward. It's going to race away, nearly didn't quite get to the boundary rope.
Good pickup from Callaway.
Yeah.
Had to make some ground.
So they got a couple out of it. So Burden moves on to 10, 2 for 55.
$127 is a magical number they need for victory.
That's a short ball. And he's hammered that out backward square leg, right to the rope, and only able to get a single for it.
Picked out Callaway again. It's a great series that we have, this TIO Strike League. Hobart Hurricanes are normally the side that are visiting. We're hoping for the Renegades and the Stars to use it as a warm-up for their Big Bash League season.
was just looking at Andrews and batting, and they go through for a couple, but he's batting, and I was wondering what made him look appealing. He has a lot of time. He just has a lot of time to play the shot.
And he's just picking the right shot and the right speed coming off the bat as well. Again, another comfortable 2. There's a big breath there in the middle as they meet. It'll be very warm for him coming from Tasmania. He's playing a bit of cricket up here at the moment, so definitely getting a more climatised, knowing that he's played a bit of cricket, played in the heat of Darwin, even here in the dry season, you'll know. But coming back into the attack, Jack Edwards. Changing him from the other end as well, Charlie, so...
Come on, Jack. Sure.
This might help him.
Good to give him...
None for 19 in his first over. What can he do here?
It's good to bring him back on again. We're going home with a nightmare, really. But a chance to redeem himself here.
Yeah. It was very expensive in his opening over.
Got to put the past behind you, don't you, and just focus on the here and now in cricket, like in most sport.
Yeah, plays at the top level in the Big Bash League and with New South Wales. I don't even think he's probably thinking too much about it now, Charlie.
Just worked around the corner out towards square leg for a single.
1 ball at a time.
Yeah, good advice.
If anything, it'll probably motivate him more to get it in quicker and, yeah, really, as a captain as well. The position has changed considerably in the first couple of overs when 11 extras have been added.
Edwards to Burden. Gets it off his hip for a single. So they're an explosive start, and now they're just going to pick off the singles, because they've put themselves in an absolute winning position. They've passed 60 and they're only in the 7th over.
There was a lot of thanks to Hayden Kerr, who came out firing the opener, made 23 of 12 balls, was caught Neil off the bowling of Guthrie, and then Jack White was out for 6, caught and bowled Edmonston. His partnership is worth 21 runs.
Andrews on 8 from 9 balls facing Edwards. Bit of improvisation in that shot. The bat was at the perpendicular.
Was just able still to guide it where he wanted, didn't he?
Up level with his eyes.
Andrews is doing very well. And Burden now on strike.
Dabs this on the offside. Short cover. Cuts it off. No run.
Big call from Andrews. No, he could see that the fielder was coming in quickly, and that was Hunter. They have such a big role as well at the non-strikers end. It's not like you just stand there waiting to see. You're the eyes, really, aren't you, seeing what's happening with the fielders and whether that striker should just take off or not. It's a big early call from Andrews that there was no run in that.
Burden dabs it away, thought about it again. Almost the identical shot, almost the identical result. No run. End of the over, 2 for 62.
Much cleaner there from Edwards. He only went for 4 that over, and after his opening over went for 19 runs, so great recovery for Edwards, the captain.
It's a bit like getting back on your bike after you've fallen off, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
You don't want to go home remembering those other
You can worry about your wounds later. You can lick his wounds later. He's still got a couple of overs left that his team will rely on him, and also his captaincy. As we see the man that had been in the field active there, Hunter. So Dylan Hunter now coming in for his first over. He'll be coming in from the Airport Development Group end. No advantage really these ends at the moment. It was earlier in the day. This would have been going into a very strong breeze, but it's very quiet out here now. No fresh air for these players.
Andrews for a single. Takes to 9. Burden's 13. 2 for 63. He's 10 actually, Andrews. Hunter to Burden. Puts it outside the off stump and he gives it a belt. Sends it out through the covers. Good fielding. Ball comes back in, just a single.
Plays for Waratah here in the local Darwin District Cricket. From Port Melbourne.
I love the sound of the bat when the ball hits the middle of it. Just sounds so... You can tell when it doesn't quite hit the middle, but when it hits the middle of that thick wooden sound is such an important part of cricket. He's missed this one. It's good bowling from Hunter.
And we were hearing that from Kerr earlier today, weren't we? He was absolutely getting them out of the middle of the bat.
Out of the screws, they normally call it. I'm never sure where that actually comes from.
And you know why? We got to hear it a lot. He made 5 fours.
Did he?
Yeah. Found the boundary 5 times in his innings, which was 23 off 13 balls, 16 minutes. And he was hitting them hard and hitting them high.
Hunter to Burden. He hits this on away on the offside. It's a good shot. Down to... out at the deep cover.
Comfortable single.
So building innings here now from the Desert Blaze.
127 for victory is what they need here. That's what's in front of them. That's the equation. They need 61 runs for victory here in the opening match of the TIO Strike League. 19 matches in total. Could be extended if we are able to have the Renegades and the Melbourne Stars join us.
There's a match on tomorrow. I think there's a Monday, and certainly over the next couple of weeks when we get through all of these games. Range of different commentators joining you. This one tossed up outside the off stump. Burden had a go at it. Tried to hit it on the offside, finished up down the leg side. Lucky not to play it back onto his stumps, but ran through for a single nevertheless. So he moves to 16. Andrews is 11. 2 for 67.
Yeah, 1 game each week night this week, which is great with now the lights here at DXC Arena. Each match starting at 6 o'clock.
Round the corner. Good shot, Andrews. And scampers through for 2.
So both looking very comfortable out there at the moment, that the pressure is off. Current run rate still above 8. One stage it was over 15. The first 2 or 3 overs. That's because the City Cyclones had a pretty bad start with the ball. They had 11 extras in their first 2 overs. When you compare that to Desert Blaze, had 9 in their whole innings, Charlie.
Yeah. He's had a big go at this one. Burden. Just moving along comfortably. Picking up singles every now and then. They'll get a couple. Occasional 4. Just keep building on that score for 2 for 70. One more ball to complete the 9th over.
Earlier today, City Cyclones made that 126 with Nick Larkin, top scoring 39 off 44.
The team doesn't have to take any risks here, do they? They can
No.
just pick up the singles and push them around a bit.
They came out firing with Kerr, who made a quick fire 23 off 12 balls. It's nearly 2 runs a ball. See a great shot there with the lights. Local time is 8:30.
So we're broadcasting from the airport end, which is sort of the, well, you can call it the southern end if you like. I'm going to shift the side screen.
Ryan McKelduff. This will be his second over, Charlie. He's taken none for 7 off his first over.
The bats make the game, don't they? I mean, they'll determine the tempo of it. They can just work singles. Yeah, I mean, you can get singles really most times, can't you?
Yeah, and you see Andrews there still busy looking around, seeing where all the fielders are.
Up down the wicket.
Oh, good decision not to take 2 then. That was a direct hit. It was a beautiful throw in from Pendeka.
Lit the stumps up.
Yeah. $127 is what Desert Blaze are chasing here for victory. Current run rate is at 8.04. At the moment, they're doing it very comfortably after a great start.
Gone for the big sweep shot. Hit him on the pads, but was outside the off stump.
Just having a look there when he just got back into the crease as well. He was very far forward. Would have been hard to give out when his front foot was so far down the wicket.
I had a hit with one of these the new bats, you know, they're just made for making runs, really.
I was going to say, did it help?
Yeah, they're very nice. Because you don't have to do much, just you can lean on the ball and it'll scoot away. And just exactly what they're doing here.
Oh, he's doing it very well, the man on strike. Andrews, the captain. 3 great catches in the field.
Look at that shot. That's a ripper. Reverse sweep. And good batsmen make it look so easy, don't they? That's exactly what Andrews is doing out there. Like, he's not being rushed or anything like that, and he just pick up the 1s and 2s as he wants them.
Well, considering he took 4 for 15 in his 4 overs, 3 catches, is now going along very nicely on 17. Clear standout for man of the match. On his performance individually alone.
That's right. I mean, even that bowling performance would just about get you man of the match, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
4 for 15.
6 more runs and he's a top scorer so far as he waves his hand up, needs fresh gloves.
Well, that's
very warm out there.
Halfway mark in the innings, 2 for 78.
So I'll have a drink, have a towel down. As we mentioned, beautiful conditions for locals and a dry season night. Still probably a tad warm from what we're used to, but for these visitors, there would be a lot of opportunities to change gloves and take some fluid on board. It is still 28 degrees here in Darwin. No breeze now. It started with a strong breeze. 65% humidity. So So we really are providing a nice warm welcome for locals when you think of where they've come from, Tasmania, from Melbourne. We were talking to the umpires earlier today. Mark Malmberg from Victoria left Melbourne and it was 13 degrees a couple of weeks ago, a couple of days ago.
And we was talking to the other umpire, Brendan Muldoon. We were having a chat with him as well. He was telling us that he played a bit of cricket in his time. I think he's a police officer in the force in Darwin.
But he gave us a really good insight into the ball as well, Charlie.
Yeah, he was talking about it, yeah.
Here with the Dukes ball.
Yeah.
So we don't play it with at our local Darwin district cricket, but the Dukes ball stays a lot harder throughout the innings, unlike the Kookaburra, which softens over time. And even he said that depending on who's the batsman on strike, he sometimes steps back a couple of steps just so that it gives him a little more time for reflex as the ball it just shoots back at them, at the umpire, when they're behind the stumps.
Yeah. And
so he knows which batsman he can figure out early how hard they hit, and he knows that Duke's ball is never going to get softer over an innings, and he actually gives him time, just a little bit more time for his reflexes should he be needing to get out of the way very quickly if it's hit straight back at him.
Might have been learnt from that. Self-preservation might have been learnt from previous experience, maybe.
Call it smart umpiring as well.
You forget about the umpires sometimes, but they do a grand job, don't they? I mean, they stand there for the whole innings. Do you know, they don't have time off.
Concentrating on the front foot, concentrating on where the flight is, seeing if there's an LBW, if there's a small nick. Yeah, there's a lot to take in, and we must say, it'd be interesting to see what he said after Malmberg. This is his first game he's umpired under lights.
Here's Andrews. Tried to get this one away, but didn't, but scampers through for a single. Good call from Burden.
Just dips under 8 runs and over the current run rate. Can't believe we were just saying that now at the start of the 11th over.
So Oates is on, change of bowling.
Keegan Oates is the opener for the City Cyclones along Jack Edwards.
He had a job to do, I think. He made 10, but he did them in reasonable quick time.
Well, he'd be wanting to get Burden's wicket because Burden caught him. So
he did too.
He wouldn't mind getting the scalp of one of these, either one. Keegan Oates is from Tasmania as well. Made 108 last weekend in the local Darwin competition for Palmerston. He has been previously contracted with Tasmania as well.
So he's an all-rounder. Gee, we're lucky Andrews not to play that on. Not sure it was the right shot to play. He practiced it again.
Seen quite a few ramp shots.
People have often talked about the ramp shot, new to cricket.
Love it or hate it, don't they? Do you like it?
Yeah, I like it. I mean, it has its risk in it, but I was thinking that it would have been played in the backyard at Mum's years ago. It's like the Christmas Test match in the backyard. You know, people
way
always,
before it made the international
That's
scene.
right. They'd step inside and hit it over their head.
Well, one man who plays that extremely well and those trick shots is Glenn Maxwell, and I don't even know, do we say there's a glimmer of hope they might still be able to join us, but we won't know till later in the week, depending on the lockdown situation of Victoria. Yeah,
COVID playing traffic, just causing lots of problems, isn't it, with scheduling matches in all sport. We've been very lucky in Darwin. We've had a couple of lockdowns, but only minor, for a few days, but we live in such a perfect world here, and we just don't understand how difficult it is. We feel for the people in New South Wales
and Victoria. So if you're listening to us, it has ACT,
yeah,
Queensland, who are going in and out of it. hopefully if we can be a little bit of a distraction, there is cricket being played in the top end. 46 runs needed here for Desert Blaze for victory.
So I'm not sure what these two are doing. They're trying to, for some reason, they're trying to play this ramp shot. They're probably better off just hitting the ball down the wicket, play an off drive or an on drive or a straight drive and pick up runs.
Good over here from Oates, has only let 2 runs. And that was a great final delivery for his first over, Oates.
It's good over from him, just 2 runs.
That last one had a bit of pace on it.
So these two, Burden and Andrews, seem to have just a little bit bogged down all of a sudden.
Put that down though to City Cyclones, probably a bit more tighter bowling.
Yes, and that as well.
And they really have stopped this bleeding of runs, quick runs. As we see now, Dylan Hunter back into the attack.
So Hunter to Burden.
This will be his second over.
That's a big shot. He's got hold of that and he's going to be caught. No, didn't get anywhere near catching that. Didn't go for it with any real confidence. And got his hands to it and dropped the catch.
Just came in too fast. Wasn't able to get under that comfortably, Mick Eldoff. If you have a look here, he's absolutely storming in. He overruns it and then has to run back 2 or 3 steps. So you can ask even if, you know, that's going up in the air, the lights, but he ran too quickly into that. Had to backtrack and wasn't able to take it over his right shoulder.
Beautiful return there. So the fielding lifting. The game is just starting to lift now as we go into this 12th over. Hunter to Andrews on 18. So teammates, you can hear them calling out words of encouragement, probably to the batting team. Come on, boys.
Andrews wanted to run in that, but luckily he was called back by Burden. There was definitely not a run in that.
Hunter being crafty here. Beat the wicket keeper. I think that beat everybody. I'm not sure that Andrews got a touch on that. We'll have to check out.
No signal there from the umpire. Yep.
Must have got something on it.
Slight nick on that. Gets another 2 runs. So Burden's already on the equal top score. Earlier today, Hayden Kerr made 23. Andrews on the back foot, just punching that away, and he moves to 21. So a great partnership here between these two. They move from 2 to 86 after they lost their opener Hayden Kerr on 23 of 12 deliveries. It was 1 for 36 then Jack White was out for 6 and it was 2 for 40. They've put on 46 runs here, this partnership.
And just doing it really carefully. So 86, how many overs will it take them to get to 127? So they need another 40 runs?
Yep, 41 runs for victory.
So they're in 12 overs, so they've got 8 overs left. Maybe 6 overs they can get it. That shot...
That's Andrews done.
Yeah, should have... they wanted to play that shot for some reason, didn't they? They just were convinced they wanted to play the ramp shot. Let's have a look at it again. He's walking across these stumps to get himself into position to play the shot.
Awkward catch in the end by Guthrie.
Yeah. So Andrews out for 21.
So So 3 for 86, just as we said, what a great partnership that they had built. There was no real need to do things like that, was there?
No, couldn't. But they persisted with it for quite a few overs.
Both of them tried it the over earlier, didn't they?
Yeah.
Around the body and trying to get it up and over. But in the end, it's claimed his wicket. So now, Desert Blaze, welcome to the crease, Osaka. Jackson at Osaka.
So 3 for 86. Wicket fell out. Yes, Osaka to bowl. Burden is in. Osaka will bat. And Oates to continue this over, his second. There's a wicket, that of Andrews.
Osaka from New South Wales, Southern Districts, played Sydney grade cricket. He's already made 400s in the local comp, Charlie.
Wow, that's good. He's a cricketer. Hugo Burton works this out through the covers for a single. I wonder if we'll see either of these batsmen try to play that ram shot again. I mean, I doubt it.
Must give credit though to Oakes. He has made the batsman, you know, think about the shots and maybe not have such big swings at things freely. He's taken a wicket, only given away 3 runs in his second over.
Here he is with Osaka.
And you can even just see there, like, bringing the ball right in and just cramping the batsman up. But then that was a bit of bad fielding there that gave him that advantage. He's got good line and length, Oates.
So Burden on strike. To face Oates, has a wicket to his name, runs in and bowls. Tried to hit it around the leg side.
Just wondering if the umpire's arms were going to go out for a wide
Yeah.
there.
Well,
They definitely didn't get the memo to swing at them. Not to swing at them, I mean.
Osaka, and then he hits that through the offside, out towards the boundary. They should get a couple. They will.
Comfortable too. It just brings that run rate back up over 7 as well, Charlie.
Yeah. And you know, there's runs to be made with conventional shots, Shannon. As we saw there. That's to Burden. 26, so he's doing pretty well. That's a wide. That's a big wide. It's almost 2 wides. They're in the 90s.
$14 extras they've added here. City Cyclones. $13 wides. I think from memory 2 of those wides went for boundaries.
Yes.
And only 1 leg by. It's expensive.
Yeah, cricket's hard enough without giving away free runs. Bowlers don't set out to do it, obviously, but it does happen, doesn't it?
2 batsmen in the middle just having a chat. Jack Edwards, the captain for the Cyclones, just taking the cap and having a chat to Liam Guthrie, who's changed ends. It's the first time we're going to see him come into the attack from the Airport Development Group end.
the side screen. So Guthrie, Liam Guthrie, got a wicket, runs in. He's a lefty, bowls outside the off stump, and he gets it past the keeper and down to the boundary for 4.
He's the top scorer now. Did you see that sweat that just came off his cap there, Charlie?
That's amazing.
It's a warm night here for him. He's got a bottom edge, didn't he? And that flew away to the boundary. He moves to 31. Kerr was out. The first batsman to go. He top scored till then on 23.
So 39, the best score in the match. Didn't manage to get that one away. That was a bit of a gift, really. Was there to be pulled, and he didn't get it. Hit him in the thigh pad. Yes, so 39 is the top score, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Nick Larkin.
Made by Larkin.
For the Sydney Cyclones.
Guthrie, in line with the stumps. Puts it out to cover. Through for a single.
That turning to 97. They just need 30 runs here for victory. Desert Blaze in the opening match of this TIO Strike League. They're hoping it will get extended. If we can see the Melbourne Renegades and the Melbourne Stars join the competition later in the week. But as it stands, they are a declared hotspot for the Northern Territory and are not allowed in. But again, something we're taking day by day here.
We thought this game would be over by now with that early onslaught, didn't we?
Yeah. Still the current run rate is impressive. It's 7.10. Had been as high as 15 in about the third or fourth over, so. City Cyclones just being a little tighter with their bowling here at the moment.
Good ball, Guthrie.
It's the first time I've noticed such a lofty bat high lift. Look at Osaka there, holds it up.
He was hoping he'd get something on that.
Yeah.
Because there's no slips fielders there.
Steve Smith's probably the most famous person that does that batting style.
Guthrie having a few words with
Captain Jack.
the captain, yeah.
30 runs for victory. That's what they're staring down Desert Blaze. How do they want to bring this up?
They need a wicket. Not going to get it there.
One for 22 as Guthrie finishes his third over.
Do you know what the match is tomorrow?
I do. I'll have a look at that for you.
It's another game here tomorrow. Start at the same time, 6 o'clock.
All 6 o'clock games every night of the week here. Tomorrow will be Northern Tide taking on Southern Storm. So we'll see those first, for the first time, those two teams in this year's competition, the fourth year of competition for the TIO Strike League, T20. So we see Jack Edwards now about to start his third over, Charlie.
Hasn't got a wicket, but very capable. So he stands poised. He'll bowl right arm over the wicket. Runs in and bowls. Shortish ball through to the keeper. Burden just swayed out the way of it.
Looked at the umpire as well, just trying to see if it was too high, but Jack Edwards' teammates with the applause. That's a dot ball.
That's a good shot. That's a great shot. Just stood and delivered. And Edwards gets belted for a 4. And Burden
moves to 36. That was a huge hit, wasn't it? Just stood there. 2 little steps. 3 bounces and over the boundary.
And the great Ken Vowles will be doing some of the coverage, Shannon. He played that shot very often in his time. Darwin cricketer, ball over the top of the stumps.
Just slowed that down a little, Jack Edwards, didn't he? He was trying to replicate that Burden. A couple of steps down and he was ready to connect with that again. And that straight boundary from where he is 78 metres.
This ground is the size of the MCG, isn't it?
We've got our own MCG Marara cricket ground, don't we? A lot of other ovals that would have gone for 6 that previous 4.
He's after it again. He's hit that out through the covers and they'll get 2. So Bird moves on to 38.
24, sorry, needed for victory. They're chasing 127 for victory.
So I'm thinking...
They will do it, but which over, Charlie?
Well, I think by the end of the 16th they might have it. Let's see, this is the 14th, the 15th rather. No, make it the 17th, Jan.
No, I'll go with you in the 16th.
That's 4.
You can't believe it, Jack Edwards.
4 wides.
There. That is another wide boundary going underneath Jack Edwards' name as well.
Being a bit tough on the keeper. The byes actually reflect the keeping ability of the keeper, which is a little unfair when the bowling is so wide. Mind you, great keepers can get across and stop those, can't they?
Yeah, but you got the experience of Jack Edwards. You'd think it would be going somewhere else most of the time, wouldn't you? He's got two balls in the 3rd over, and he's already been taken 34 runs.
It's gone over the top. That's going to go all the way. That's a 4. Another one. Good shot. Short ball, and Burden becomes the leading run scorer.
He certainly does. And in that process, he's hit 4 4s as well on his way to making that classy 42.
Can he get a 50 here? Half century would be good. He needs 8 more. If he plays shots like that, it could be 2 shots. Got a wide stance, feet spread apart, steps inside, ramps shot around the corner. That's going to go to the boundary for 4 again.
Back-to-back boundaries as well. He's ready. He's done for the evening, Burden. He wants to get this over and done with. He moves to 46. And they need 10 runs here, Charlie.
When that shot's played well, it's a great shot, isn't it? It doesn't really show the risk that's in it. But if there's no fielder there, that's where you can play it. Squeezes this one away, couldn't get it through the circle. Good fielding there at backward point.
Clever single as well, Charlie, because it means Burden will go back on strike. Osaka just has to be the man that sits at the non-striker's end and watches this unfold. Burden could easily finish this off. 9 runs needed. Do they go for it in this over? Jack Edwards, none for 44 off his 3 overs. Very expensive bowling there for the captain. And just see him there going to talk to the next bowler coming in, but shoulders are down, his head's down. And that last instruction was to Keegan Oates. He's been much more economical with the ball. So definitely the right man to bring on right now with the form that Burden is in. Seeing it well at the moment.
So here's Oates, runs in. Wide of the crease, slants it in, worked off the pads. Misfield, they'll get a couple at least. They're satisfied with 1, they get 2.
Five fours in his innings for those 47 runs, Charlie.
Been a good innings, hasn't it, really?
Super impressive.
49 on the verge of a half century. Be a good return for Burden tonight. There's his half century.
I'd still say easily Tom Andrews as his half century comes up. Rightly so. A great applause around here at DXC Arena from teammates and spectators.
Little nudge around the corner, gets him out to mid-wicket for a single and gives him a well-compiled 50 off 43 balls, and good effort from him. Oates 1 for 11 in his bowling. And Osaka's at the other end watching his teammate play the job, but he's actually got some strike now, Osaka. See what he can do. Gets the full toss. Picks a single up.
No, he tried to, got halfway down, but was sent back.
Oh, he's gone back.
I think Burden, he's done a mountain, probably not so much running. He's 5 fours there, so 20 of those runs have been just him standing and delivering, but not wanting to lose a wicket here. These two would be happy to finish this off with only 6 runs needed for a victory here.
It's another good shot. That'll be 2 this time for sure. So Osaka goes to 3. 123 for 3.
4 runs needed, Charlie.
Did we say they'd get it in the 16th over?
You did.
Well, you did.
No, you did. Then you got a little nervous, and I said, no, I think you're right. Well, the man on strike could do it. Finish it off here. 3 runs needed.
Burden on strike, the right man.
Yep. Can he bring up his 6th boundary here?
Let's see what he does. So here comes Oates, runs in, bowls to him, and he jabs it around the corner, takes off for a single, and got it in the end. So retains the strike.
Gonna have to go to that 17th over for you, Charlie. 2 runs for victory.
126 was never going to be enough, was it really?
No.
So Burden did so well, didn't he? Tommy Andrews 21, Hayden Kerr 23.
Expensive though, 20 extras, Charlie.
That was the difference, wasn't it, really?
Yeah.
If you took that 20 off, there'd be 105, wouldn't they?
Yeah, but they had 11 extras in the first 2 overs, so, you know, the heads were down, the confidence was down. But Tom Andrews, you'd have to say, has definitely been a standout. 3 catches in the field. His bowling figures were amazing. 4 for 15 or 4 overs.
And he batted superbly, really.
For his 21, he certainly did.
Not out, was it?
And Burden finished this off. Two runs here. How many balls does he need?
This will be the ball, I reckon. Belts that away. He's going to get one.
Nah. It was a very, very slow, casual jog. There was never interest in going for two quick ones there, Charlie. You watched the ball, I watched the batsman, and it was nearly a walk down there. It's been a big innings from Burden.
It's course level at the moment. If they can get 7 wickets, it'll be a tie. There's the winning run. So Osaka must have said, I've been out here supporting you. Let me get the winning run, at least. Congratulations happening out there. Congratulations to the Desert Blaze. They decided to bat. They did a really good job. They decided to bowl, rather, and they restricted the score down to 126. And then the Cyclones were able to get the better of them in the end with a pretty good performance. The Desert Blaze, rather, were able to get there with a pretty good performance. There's a match scores.
And there's your match winner as well there, Charlie. Tom Andrews, the captain for the Desert Blaze. Those bowling figures were outstanding. 4 for 15 off his 4 overs, 3.75 economy rate. And he did it in the field as well, took 3 great catches. You know, he took catches for Kellaway, Hunter, and also Pednecker, and then came out with the bat and contributed a very, very handy 21 off 27 balls before he was caught Liam Guthrie off the bowling of Oates. So for my mind, you can't go past Tom Andrews as both teams come out now to shake hands. But the City Cyclones weren't able to fire, only with Nicholas Larkin there getting the top score. McKelduff right at the end put in a handy 22. It could have been worse if they hadn't have. And then when you think about the Desert Blaze only losing 3 wickets, it was I guess a woeful start to their bowling innings, with 11 extras coming up in the first 2 overs. And Jack Edwards, very, very expensive, the captain for his side. He'll be very disappointed. Only the opening match. It's a round robin competition. You've got to get points to try and make it through to the final. They'll go back, they'll regroup City Cyclones. But for Desert Blaze, what a fantastic start to this competition, Charlie.
So the City Cyclones all out for 126 in 19.3 overs, and the Desert Blaze were able to run it down in 16.3 overs, finished at 3 for 127 on the back of a pretty well compiled Hugo Burden's 52, Hayden Kerr making 23. Shannon, been nice working with you.
Enjoy the rest of the series. I know I will. Can't wait. Thank you so much for everybody tuning in from the top end of Australia in Darwin. The TIO Strike League underway. Game 1 going to Desert Blaze by 7 wickets.